Guess we should start with a starting thing. Give it just a moment. Let me send a link. I think that's a link. Alrighty. And I think we're about ready. Give it a couple seconds here. All right. Yo. You like that startup? The real question is, which one is my full screen with webcam? I think it's this one. Let's find out. Yeah, that's that one. Okay. So, hello. Let's go ahead and start doing some EQGZI stuff. So the first thing we got to do is compile, which I already got this all set up where it succeeds just no problem. Same thing with EQGZI GUI. Gotta make sure it compiles, which it's already up to date. We're good to go. Okay. So let's get this to the proper directory, which is EQGZI. Boom. And let's go ahead and go to the out directory and let's just test if, or out. Yeah, so you can see there, we're getting the executables to run, no problem. Cool. So we're going to be priming the 01, what is it, 190.191? I think I marked it as 191. Yeah, just making sure that works. You know, one thing I'm going to do just because is that usage message right here. Let's pop in the version. Is version available from here? Should be. I bake it into the Python file. And in Lua, I just call it here. It's so nice that I actually know Lua now. So I could actually just do this, version.lua, and then saying here, version equals this. And then we can just do like version dot, I don't know, build equals version 191. And then we can just return version. And what this does is that instead of here, we can go local version equals require version. And then we can just put here build dot, or version dot, was it build? Is that what I said? Yeah. There we go. And then we now have a way for the usage. Well, this also says it here. And this file is like that. Then here, version build. All right. Anyways, we're just doing a little cleanup because I should be able to, oh, now this is in Python, so we ain't going to touch that one, but this one we can. Oops, I forgot the quotes. Sure. And let's make sure. Boom, 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 boom. 191 after forgetting to version 190 out of, yeah. which I deleted that version. I don't want to add confusion. It's already confusing enough, right? The only other thing was this version build, I don't have a require. So local version equals require version. Okay. So version is in GUI. GUI is all of this. We'll have to see. I might have to require GUI version. Yeah. Because you'll notice the file above it implies the import path. This is considering a subdirectory. We'll know very quickly if this works or not. Okay, now we can do a usage. Technically we should just do a print. But see, this is an error. Is it just print? I could add argument support too. Ew, this is kind of gross. If it equals what version? There's so much about this code that I don't like, but that's okay. And then we can just put in here. Okay, that didn't work. And that also isn't working. Are we in the right directory? So EQGZI out, EQGZI out. This is the GUI. This is trying to do an import. It should be printing on all of these. Is it print? No. Why? I'm doing all these edits on EQGZI test 2. This is the downside of having so many copies of EQGZI going on. Yeah, so I did all these edits. And let's just do this. Okay. We take this out file and we copy it over to this file. And we apply it. What? Or is it patch? No. No valid patches. This is a patch. Okay, I'm gonna have to search this for sure. I thought you could do it that easily. You just git diff then patch. Yeah, gif diff out patch. Is it just the word patch? I didn't know that was a command. No. Git patch. Is it the... We gotta add the prefix thing. I don't feel like that's a problem though. I hate that there's a file there name called out. No valid patches, allow with, oh sure. Did that work? No. Okay, we'll tell you what. These changes are going up. So let's just do this. I know I was spending a little excess time testing all that. First, let's just go to out, see if this works. Why is that giving the error yours does? Interesting. Did not expect that. Maybe I sent your files over here. That's probably what happened. Sure. Build. Now everything is just work. Delete the file. Now I can compile it. Now it's copied. Go back to here. Run EQGZI and still no message. Fine. Add version support. We're going to blind push. Come over here and run it and see. Oh yeah, we got to pull it down. Okay. Yes, you're gone. Why are you coming up on search results? There should be a print here. This is EQGZI. This is EQGZI. Is this built into the binary? That's interesting. This is not what I was expecting. I thought it required these GUI files and it was live loading these. Super confused right now. Okay, so let's close EQGZI2. That's just confusing me. Let's build this one again. Why are you skipped? I deleted the file. Am I in 2? No. All right, so 2 can get out of here. It was confusing me. So EQGZI source, EQGZI source. You know, here's the binary. Is it possible usage is in here? Yes. That's why. This isn't actually loading the DLL yet. Or the GUI stuff. Yes. Okay. There. This is test 2 that I have open. Of course, I opened the wrong one. Or I kept open the wrong one. No, I just know that I need to delete a file path before it drives me bonkers, is what that all was. Basically, I made this EQGZI test 2 for you, and it's driving me bonkers. Why can't I delete you? What has you open? Is it this? Whatever. Skip all that, just delete the directory. I want to get this out of the picture. Okay, this is EQGZI in source, okay? This is EQGZI in source. Now, can I run EQGZI here? Yes. Can I do version? There we go. Executing EQGZI 191 version EQGZI 911. What? I see. I'm writing the argument as a path on here, so that's why it's gross. But anyways, it does all this. Why do I print version here? Where does this version print come from? It's this. This code is horrendous. There we go. So now we have a version command, which isn't built into the binary yet, but that's all right. I'm spending way too much time on versioning. All I really was caring about is fixing the stuff that you want dead. Okay. So now that we're here, we have the binaries. They're running. We need to fix your issue. You brought it up that you are trying. Ugh, I got a thing in my throat. That you were trying to build the texture swap, right? That's what the problem is that you've been trying to figure out. So the last 15 minutes was me just getting the environment set up. Let's actually work on the texture swap now, minus this little fix. Just pop that out, just so we have it clean. Yeah. So what we're going to go look for is how exactly does the texture swap work currently? The easiest way to find that actually is with EQGZI manager, just because it sets up my whole environment. But let me read what you're saying. It gets PNG and then the text into the cache, but it doesn't make it into the EQGZ in the end. Okay, so you're saying it gets all the way to nearly the end. Do you, by chance, could you zip up like a test project that you have? Or I can just make one. It's not like a big deal. I think the easiest way to do this is, I'm pretty sure I have a EQGZI manager folder. Yeah, I got like 3. Let's just do this. We're going to make a folder in here called test, right? And also, we're going to put that in the git ignore. Test should never be, test should never be versioned. Okay, so we're going to take Zachary EQGZI manager. We're going to download the latest real quick here. Super easy. Download the binary. Move this to here, which is here. Test EQGZI manager. Run that and do the download. There's a registry error on the beginning. I'm gonna have to clean that up. All right, so we got a blank test zone. Sure. All right, let's go back to you. Go to Discord, message, continue, and save. Grab this, copy it to my test folder, extract this here, move that into here. That's awesome that we both decided to call it test zone. Unless that's what you told me right before I did this. Anyway, so we got test zone here. Let's open it up in Blender real quick. I'm running Blender 4, by the way. I'm pretty sure EQGZI is fine with 4, but I don't know if that's been tested. All right, so we got this nice little, you know, one thing, by the way, I got a new keyboard, and this keyboard, oh, I can't show you, it's too small. This keyboard has no numpad, and working in Blender without a numpad, pain in the butt. Like I want to click here and then press numpad star or period, so it focuses on it, but I can't. So anyways, all right, we got this little binary, and I assume you've already primed all this so that the cache directory has this render flame, right? And then you have a text file, shift tilde. Well, that's just to walk around to navigate. I'm talking about if you press numpad period, you basically focus the object. It's, I don't even know what the command is. It's kind of like that, but it's not to the cursor, it's to the object. Anyways, I use that all the time. Okay, so here is your rendered flame. Let's do this. Can we go to EQGZI, refresh, find your test zone, right? And hit create. Cannot find, oh. That's interesting. Why did you give me a shortcut? And why is it trying to execute a shortcut? Do you have weird things? Yeah, you have weird things. Okay, so that means it technically succeeded. Let's try it again with that file out. So it failed at step 0 on the convert. This thing is so horribly written, by the way. At some point, I'm going to take manager and fix this. The test PNG does not. Oh. Got it. Well, that's not quite where I'm at anyways. But what we're going to do I have Quail? Yes, thank you. So we're going to open up a new section. We're going to go into actually it's test zones, test zone. And we're going to go look at the out and inspect test zone.eqg. So we can see that this file is making a rendered flame1.txt. I really should make Quail able to inspect .txt files. Just read out the file, you know what I mean? But anyways, so you have a text file, but you're stating that the PNG test is not getting copied. And you can see actually that it is not in that EQG. Is this part of the issue that you are describing? So we're going to search for .txt real quick, which will be very generic, but we can at least kind of scan through some of the results and look for the cache detection for text. So pretty sure this is it. So basically, it looks at the base name of the file, sees if there's a .txt, and then when it does, it opens it for the materials, it reads each line, finds out if it's an image file, but if there isn't one, it continues. Otherwise, it takes the line, it takes out the new line, it checks if the file exists. If it does, it says it could not, or if it doesn't, it says can't find it, and it continues. Otherwise, it copies the animated texture to the cache. Okay. And if we go to the cache, we can see that these files did get copied. So this code right here should be good. And I'm going to read what you're saying. It will copy PNG, but not 2, 3, 4, or the text. The only reason is copying over is I made another shader. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to delete the cache because that shouldn't hurt anything, and just run the convert again. Oh, we're actually not able to. This is like the most ambiguous command output ever. Convert bat failed at step 0. Well, let's do this. Test zone has a convert. I'm going to copy this over and replace yours. And just run this. Okay. Oh, haha. My Blender is not being detected by you. Let's fix that by going to Blender, opening the file location, copying this. I wonder if that'll fix it. No. It might need blender.exe. Honestly, I don't know why the registry isn't working either. I got all sorts of issues going on. Like I said, EQGZI is a year plus old, and I did a reinstall since then, so things are a little more wonky. I really hate how this thing has like 0 messages though. But at least you can see here. I wish this would have been here though. I'm going to verify this is truly what it's failing with. Yeah, Blender is not recognized as an internal or external command. This is likely because this needs failed registry. Man, I kind of want to fix EQGZI manager real quick, even though now I'm going down the rabbit's hole. Just at least to figure out why this is apparently failing. Let me guess. They changed the path in 4.0 for where the registry entry is because they are maniacs, I guess you can call them. So we got software from local machine. We got classes. You're not going to let me... Man, registry editor is like another tier of annoying. Like, I have to navigate this. I can't... Like, if I take this out, okay. But if I put it... Oops. If I put this to classes... Oh, it did work. Why didn't that work earlier? Blend file. Yeah, there's no blend file directory anymore. So the way that I pivot is broken now. How do you find the exit key then? This is where to find it. I likely used this. I wonder if this works. Let's just try real quick for fun. There was an S. This doesn't have what he wants. Unless, what is this? Paths to Blender? Is this a... This is not right. Try this one. Explorer. File extents. Then dot blend. It just says Blender launcher. Okay, let's try the third one. Okay. Yeah, I think this is actually part of the problem, is that they jacked up. Yeah, this just tells you that Blender's installed. It doesn't tell you the path. Windows and Blender are apparently just... I could do a WMI query. Oh, wait. How do I do WMI queries from the command line? Hey, Lost the War. How's it going? Man, I haven't done WMI queries in forever. I think it's just like WMIC. Look at that. I knew it before I saw it. All right. And then can I select? No. Oof, I don't want ads. But see, WMI query doesn't do actual querying. I've done this before, but man, it's been a while. Anyways, all of this aside, I don't know what's going on, but now I have to fix your stuff. That's all right. So let me go back to EQGZI, the one that you gave me, which was temp. Where did it put your file? I don't know. That works. Knowing me, I probably, yep, take it out. Okay. So we're going to grab your convert. You have a convert only as well, so we could probably use that. So let's do that. EQGZI, oh, not Corebase. Windows. I've been using a lot of Linux lately, so I'm fighting Windows a lot lately. So test underscore test zone is in zones. And inside here is your convert only. And inside convert only, what do we got? What's this doing? You're running Blender, and the problem with running Blender is I don't have that as a command line command. And so I have to go to environment variables, and then I have to go to Blender. Then I have to go file location, take Blender, copy it here, set it in path as a new entry. I think I can just get away with that. And I have the new command prompt. Does Blender work now? Yes, of course. Because, yeah. Okay. So we're going to just close this crap out. And let's close you. Let's go back. So source EQGZI test zone. There's a zone. Zones underscore test convert bat. Okay, so you have some fixed paths in there that we got to fix real quick, but we're getting progress. I'm actually curious, us doing what we just did, will that fix the EQGZI manager? You know, putting in the path variable by default. I'm pretty sure oh, why is it reinstalling? That was weird. Great. No, it's still failing. Yeah, it still doesn't know where Blender is. Okay. So, we got to go find this Python error now. So your convert only. Yep, has an EQGI import command. So yes, I also need to set an environment variable, as you just said, for EQGZI. At least that one's easy. Sure. So source EQGZI test zones. Okay, so convert dot bat dot only. All right, we're getting farther. Import cache. Cache object is not found. And this is because the Python script failed because it's looking for, okay. EQGZI now chains, but we now need to fix the convert.py in EQGZI. So in out, there is a convert.py that's being executed. And inside here, there is a failure. No, this can't be this path. You must have one somewhere else that's being referenced. So test zones. We're going to take this one out. Test zone. Where's your convert.py? Oh, you're literally hard pathing it. That's why. C drive, sure. All right, what's happening now? We got a failure in line 431. I don't like that it doesn't stop. Man, I was never a massive fan of EQGZI. It was a cool, like, it's definitely the best, but oof, it's doing a lot of weird stuff. So line 431 of convert is doing the actual execution line, and export scene objects. Did they break this? They had to have broke this. Look, it's just a little BPY command. Let me guess. Blender 4. They changed the name. Where's this one? Okay, now we got keyword changes. Ugh. All right, this is too much work. We're gonna just install an older Blender because apparently Blender 4 breaks EQGZI, just heads up. What version of Blender are you using, Dad? Okay, you're using 3.6. Let's use 3.6. I just downloaded the documentation, by the way, for EQEMU, and I'm going to put in here that EQGZI does not work with 4.0, and I'll put it in the notes for all of these because, yeah. Note, Blender 3 or older is required for this to work. Blender 4 is not supported. Okay. Next, so that's manager, and then EQGZI, I'll do the same thing. I don't know if I'll ever bother upgrading to Blender 4 with EQGZI, but for now, I can just tell people to kick rocks on all our documentation. Yeah, we got EQGZI listed a few places because of... It's actually... I won't bother with EQGZI documentation, or EQEMU docs, EQGZI documentation, but... All right, download any Blender. You're running 3.6. That is the latest with 3. 3.6 is pretty much 3.0. We're going to install it. And we'll see if that fixes manager as well. All right. Stream looks... Oh, wait. Okay, I was going to say you don't see anything, but yeah. All right, so we're installing it, and once it's installed, we can fix references. So we're going to have to go to environment variables and definitely change the path from 4. All right. To do this, though, what we probably should do is also run this again. Look at that. It just immediately detected it. And now we can create a new zone real quick. We're going to call it test zone 2. And let's hit create. Okay, I know it failed, but I'm just double checking why. Don't I have an option to open log file? No. Failed during A zone. Yeah, that's normal. Why is it runs A zone if that's not checked? I need to fix that at some point. Because we don't care if A zone fails. In fact, how is A zone even running on here? Must be in tools. But yeah, this version of A zone that it comes with is broken. What should we do about that? Let's just, for now, okay, we're going to close you. We're going to close you. We're going to go back to you. And we're going to close all these. And we're going to take your zone, which is test zone. And, by the way, speaking of A zone and all that, I just downloaded zone utils. I'm pretty sure I did it here. Yeah, it's right here in source. Why did I have an F drive source? That's weird. I don't normally clone this there. Anyways, build bin. We got these new binaries over here, right? Boom, 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 boom. We're going to come over here to my little EQGZI test. We're going to grab this tools, and we're just going to toss this in here. And I'm just curious, does this fix the error? Wow. All I did is recompile it. Anyways, so we got that working. Now we don't get an error when we run this. Now if we use yours, it's going to fail because you got weird paths and stuff. But we can now do something. We can take your test zone. We're going to copy it. We're going to call this test zone. And we're going to copy all this junk. Replace yours with it. And then run this on test zone. Done. It's a lot easier than all the headaches I was having. At least it doesn't show errors here. Okay, so we're going to go look at the convert log now. So this is running on test zone. It deletes the cache. It builds out your directories, or it removes all the old stuff. It applies the modifiers. That part's all good. Now we're running EQGZI 1.82, by the way. It's importing some textures, and then ultimately it writes. So first thing we're going to do is inspect the test zone. And you can see that in the final file right now, we're getting rendered flames, but we are not getting PNG tests, which is exactly in alignment for what you need, right? Like that's expected. It is interesting, by the way, that there's a 1 and a 2. You mentioned, I think, in the history that 2 was because you manually referenced it in the Blender file. So no worries. Okay. We are on track to something. I don't know what. So we can see here that PNG test does reference 4 files, and we can see this one references 6. In the convert log, we have, a history of these being generated, and those are being copied correctly, 6 and 4, and PNG test 1 does include the 4. So cache is like Perfect. So convert.py and Blender step looks clean. So now we get into EQGZI. First of all, we're running 182. That is because I am using a vanilla copy of EQGZI Manager, and it does not have 190 on it. So we can fix that by just simply going to Tools and copying the out files here, specifically GUI and these two files, to the test directory in Tools, like so. And this should now generate with 190 or 191. Let's double check that. So this is all pretty much the same. You can see here it does not say the version anymore. I think that's intentional, but that's right. I changed that. Right here. So let's go ahead and grab GUI, put it back in test. Generate again, go back to logs. I forgot a space. Not end of the world, but yeah, space. It is cool. My version building is now flagging. We got the 191 in there. So this is now latest and greatest, minus that I'm referencing a tools folder instead of the source, but whatever. Also, why is this not ignoring Git? Oh, I put double / How about this? That fix this? Thank you. Yeah, now I don't have a bazillion files being edited. Thank you. So next, minus I'm checking computer or phone real quick. We need to figure out where exactly the next failure point is. I know this is pretty much all dead. So 47 minutes was me basically revving up my entire environment so that I can help you. But this is how long it's been since I've touched EQGZI. So let's now go in and find in the README where the text file parsing happens. So we can see here that we load image and then we look for each image and then we found the text file. So we're going to be like, there's going to be a Lua file that has the word found in it. And these are all commented out. These are all commented out. This one is not. So here's where the text file detection is. All right, I gotta DND my phone. It's messaging too much and it's distracting me. I tend to look immediately at my phone whenever I get a message. So we have animation image function. You can see that the name gsub is specifically looking for DDS, and this is also hard-coded for DDS. Those are probably a good reason on why. So load image is agnostic to the extension, but anim image func is not. This is being called by the name pairs of materials. So the first thing we want to do is literally just add a gsub for PNG so that we get base name, because that's really what that is doing right there. And this may be the key here, because look, this would be trying to find cache name.png.text. It would fail and never continue the find. So let's just start it with that and let's see if that fixes it, or at least what changes. So there's the remove. We go here. Okay. So we have this found, right, after the rendered flames. Then we have PNG test, but there is no found for PNG test 1. Okay. So that's the first change, and it didn't fix it yet, so we got to keep going. So next, we can see the check here. We got to just change this to a PNG as well. Same ordeal, create, look at logs, scroll down a bit. Okay, still nothing. In fact, there's no new event. We're not adding any. Oh, ha ha ha. I'm doing these edits, but they're actually not being copied over. Both of these edits, I believe, are on this file though. So all we got to do is take object.lua and put it into tools. I don't know if tools will be, yeah, it's not searchable because we put in the git ignore. But here, so delete you, put you here, and that's an update. So now we update this file, we check log. Guess what? That looks like it works. Let's verify the inspect. Okay, so the inspect does have the PNG text there, and it references all 4 PNGs in the EQG. So I think we just fixed it. A generic fix otherwise, let's look for any other DDS patterns that are not utilized. But no, this is the only time we ever search for DDS in all the Lua files. So let's go ahead and commit this. The actual fix, I mean, I can absolutely put that in. I mean, I could make this a little cleaner. I don't know if load image can support PNG or JPG. But if you've had success with JPEG, it just does a P call. I have no idea, but whatever. I'll put it in there. It shouldn't hurt anything. The worst it'll do is crash. I mean, I could test it, but I'll let you do that. All right. So now that we got that cut, let's go to EQGZI and let's cut a release. Yep. Now that we know what to do, you can actually do the changes now. All right. So let's cut the new release. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a pain. The best way I find to actually build. Why am I getting a git message? Let's see. Oh, it's just EQGZI manager. It's because it's Sunday. So we're going to open up this zip file. And we're going to go over to our out path. We're going to make sure it's fully compiled. Same thing with GUI. This is how I cut a release, by the way, because it's not like we cut releases for EQGZI that much, so I'm just doing it by hand, essentially. Okay, so now this out directory has essentially everything primed. The other thing we're going to do is make sure that we include the A zone and A water that we have built. So zone utilities. We should mark these with versions, by the way. I'll probably do that later, but whatever for now. I don't really feel like, you know what I mean, adding more time. So essentially what we're doing is we're creating a new zip file that is based on this. So map edit, we're going to keep the same. Honestly, I'm not sure what the trick was. I literally just, started CMake, targeted the path, hit build. I mean, you can see it in the README on zone utilities, like right here. That's literally all I did. I think you just have some sort of issue with C++ compiling, which, by the way, not to like ghostlight you or gaslight you, ghostlight. I'm having issues with Core. After I updated Visual Studio, Core will no longer build. It's giving me new errors, and I was recently struggling with that. So I think something's weird with the latest build of Visual Studio, potentially. And I'm being messaged. Let me double check who that is. That's probably you. Nope. Yeah. Anyways, here I am. I mute my freaking phone, but then Discord sends me messages. So now I'm looking at my my phone. All right. A water, A zone. We need to make sure are copied over from here. Let's just copy them now. This is a debugger copy. Let's actually compile it without debugger copy. So we're going to go, actually, we were just running CMake, right? That'll open the project. We don't need a debug copy. Ooh, it's actually tempting to version this, but that's all right. So release, it looks like it is only 64-bit. Anyways, we'll compile a new release copy. And I guess we should double check this real quick. Yep, looks okay. Okay, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna go up one. We're gonna get to release. This is the latest release. So let's prime this build now. So first thing we're gonna do is just copy these files over. Override, get them in here. The map edit directory, we're gonna, oh, that's like a subdirectory. Interesting. Do I need this to be a subdirectory? I don't think it's required. Other than it's like noisy. I might as well maintain the same pattern. So map edit needs, ooh, there's a DLL called linear math in mine that isn't actually required. Like this just boots up no problem for me. Interesting. Let's just replace you and make sure, yeah, this is a new version. You can tell by like UV is not, so honestly, like even the shaders and all that, they're all built in now. Screw it. Let's just update to the latest. We're not going to have a map edit zip anymore. Well, it's because you're using a zone utility zip. You really need to learn at least enough GitHub to just pull down. If you don't see that zip file, what you need to do is go here. Oh, wait. Why? Oh, you okay? Maybe I am gaslighting you. I have it versioned, and I'd never pressed push. There's your problem. Not that you need to re-download. It's just literally I put a zip file here. Sorry. Apparently I didn't realize that it was just sitting here staged with a commit message, but I never hit commit and send. So there you go. That's the, and there's a little picture too. All right, let's get back on to the getting this build release. So back to out directory. We are just walking through this. Now we know that we have map edit in the root. Pretty sure we need GUI. Data we need as well, I believe. We do not need data, actually, sorry. Let's go up one directory. Yeah, these are actually not required. That's funny that I've included that in 181. So We have data. We have GUI, which is now just GUI files. Okay. We have A water, A zone. I'm just glancing at this while we go through. Can we do this by name? Thank you. All right. A zone. A zone generator, bit, convert. We don't need chess triangles. That's a test thing. EQGZI. The GUI. Those are all symbolic mapper stuff. There's a zip file for 190 sitting around. Free image. Glue. Don't need the debugger. Don't think we need glffw, but whatever. Let's put it in there. Erlicht. IUP. LFS. Luas. Lua EKG, which by the way, that's the one that I've never had source code to. It makes me sad. And we're also going to put these new command ones in here. This is now going to become a new zip file, which we will now rename to, not W. We're going to rename it to EQGZI version 1.9.1. I tried getting an EQEMU server running. I was able to get EQEMU installed according the guide, but never made it past that. Yeah, EQEMU is an ordeal to get set up, and not for the faint of soul or the weak of soul, weak-hearted. Anyways, there's a lot of documentation online. Definitely requires tech savvy and a lot of perseverance because there's just so many steps to it. And if you're not familiar with like creating a private server on like any other community, it's definitely a pretty complicated process. There are some installers out there that kind of try to help you through the process, but even with those installers, there's still just a lot of steps. Aka's installer is usually the de facto standard for Windows, and AkStack tends to be the recommended route for production. Personally, I don't use either, but that's not to say they're bad. It's just because I'm a power user and I like to be in full control. So I go through and I have some other flows I've listed, but if you don't know Linux, they probably won't be very useful for you. I was working on a project called Fippy. It never really got too far, but Fippy was pretty cool. On the idea was it was Windows. It was a little window, a little GUI that just started the thing up and did it without installing anything. It was all portable editions. One day maybe I'll work on that again, but low priority. All right, we got the zip file. Let's send it off. So to actually cut the release, we go here. We're going to draft a new release. We're going to make it version 191. We're going to take this release, drag it in here. We're going to generate some release notes. We can also just add a quick note about added fix for animation, text animations with PNG. Then we're going to format this like the other releases real quick, which is 2024. So 714. Let's put this on the beginning. I don't like how I have it on the end. You know what? I've been doing that forever. Let's keep doing that. New bug fixes. Fixed error with a zone caused EQGZI manager to fail. Technically JPEG as well, just haven't tested yet. I'll do sometime tonight. And sorry, Zach, I'm dense. Can you please send an exact link to the zone utilities you uploaded? Yes, but I won't do it online. Well, I guess we can do it online while I'm streaming. It's just this. Oop, voidless. No, not you. You are voidless. There, dead circling. All right, now let me finish this cut of a release. And latest release, no pre-release flag. Let's publish. All right, so the final step, now that we've officially cut the release is we're going to go to EQGZI Manager again. And we're just going to try to download it real fast. Oh, I have a pre-release 20 minutes ago. That's just the EOL. I'm going to just delete that actually. And then, okay, so we're going to download the latest. We're going to grab this. We're going to cut it. We're going to toss it into, I don't know, we're going to call this like fresh. Fresh. And we're just going to run this. And what it should do is download 191. So, and we're going to just create a zone, generate. And I can already tell you it did because map edits here. But let's go to zones, test, look at the logs. Scroll down a little bit. 191. Boom. So Zergling, when you set up 191 testing, what I recommend you do is literally just grab EQGZI Manager, put it in its own path, just like you saw I did, and let it download, because it'll take and grab all the 191 binaries and everything. It'll set up your environment and it'll generate all these files. And then once you do this, you can now manage your zones in this little thing, even opening in the test in Blender. And whenever you want to compile, right, like when you're working and you finish the edits, all you have to do is hit this button right here. So it's just a really nice way to kind of wrangle your EQGZI experience. And once you get it converted over, all you have to do is generate the file name and then just replace your blend file and, you know, all your paths and stuff in here too. Let me know if you need help with that. I'm happy to walk you through that. So VATH, I put it up on Ubuntu 22. Since I couldn't get it to working, I just put a fresh install and used now for a couple of Docker projects. So if you're comfortable with Linux and all that stuff, there is a dev container. And this is what I leverage. And with dev container, I make it where I compile the binaries in VS Code. Don't think you need that. Honestly, do we have... Pretty sure we make releases now with the binaries right here. Yeah, so you get the Linux binaries here. I think these work fine. So yeah, what you're just talking about, where you put a fresh install, that should be enough. But just FYI, dev container, you could technically run a prod server off dev container. I don't recommend it though. And if you're using bare metal, I do have another project called Overseer. Definitely a little work in progress, but you know what I mean? It's a little GUI tool. And what it does is manage the processes for you, so that you don't have to run like a star.sh. So just FYI. Might be worth checking out, but it's optional. You won't have Spire. You won't have a lot of the other tooling that ACStack gives you. So if you want a more cohesive experience and like, I guess, easier, you may want to still consider adding ACStack at some point, just for all that, you know what I mean, tooling. But yeah, cool. Dead Zergling, success. It took us 1 hour and 8 minutes. But now I have EQGZI working on my machine again. And yeah. It was literally like 5 lines of code that really needed to be changed to support PNG for animated textures, but we also included zone utilities now as part of, you know, the release pipeline for EQGZI. As we kind of test zone utilities a little bit more and find quirks, we can, you know, now have an upstream that we can patch everything together. EQGZI Manager technically needs to be better supported for pulling down new binaries for tools, but I'm not that worried because I feel like this whole pipeline, this whole project, I'm sort of freezing because I would love to get Quail and that whole new approach, which basically eliminates the need for all of this tooling. especially once we get it all finalized. So why does this say draft? Yes. And it's not even just the dream. It's slowly becoming a reality, specifically because of Darius' work. Because Darius is fixing the biggest issue I had, which was the intermediary format. How do we take a binary format and turn it into something that's processable by Blender, but ensure that the middle ground is still like editable and reviewable. I was using text files in Quail. I made a Quail format and it works, but it was very hearsay and I was constantly having to iterate it. So if we can have this standard where the tokenizer could even be parsed by classic clients, that's amazing, right? Because now I have a way to audit and debug when I'm generating things to, check if the pipeline's working and where in the pipeline it's failing. So it's really cool work that Darius is doing. I really do need to sit down and start. The part I'm going to be working on is taking a binary file and turning it into the text file, because he's taking the text file or ASCII and turning it into Blender already. Like you've seen it. He's showing those previews. He's literally taking the text files and generating everything. And the fact that he's owning that is actually simplifying my life too, because I can take his scripts, especially once he's done with bidirectional, and feed it back into Quail for, writing to the EQG in binary format. So very cool. And very cool that he's taking that effort. So anyways, I think that's about it for the stream. I think I was planning to do some rebuild EQ, but I'm probably going to wait because it's 7 p.m. here and I will be maybe streaming tomorrow. I need to get in the habit. If I was a smart person, I would create a schedule for streaming and do it like 4 hours a day, every like 2 to 3 days or whatever I can dedicate. And it doesn't even matter what I'm streaming, just stream. But chances are whatever I stream, most people would probably enjoy it, especially if you're technically savvy. Possibly. I don't know. I think some of the stuff I work on is probably educational to most people. Specifically, though, anyone that loves EverQuest and the private server community. So, yeah, because the things I'm working on Rebuild are actually really fun to check out. Like, it would be fun to show you what I'm doing, like how I'm making it, but also show the product and what I'm making, because exciting stuff going on, I think, in Rebuild. But yep. All right. Well, thank you again for watching, and I'm going to go ahead and do my outro. Where's my outro? You're not supposed to see all this. There you go. There's my outro. The best outro ever. You know what? When my stream ends, you may as well just turn off your computer. There's nothing else worth doing. Though I don't know. Hey, Zergling, did you watch this on a phone? I imagine you can't see anything if you watch my streams on a phone, but anyways. And Vath, feel free to hop on the EQEMU Discord and ask some of these questions. There's a server help section, and I would imagine there will be people more than happy to help you through any sort of hiccups you get, and discuss how exactly you can resolve your issues. So nice to meet you guys, and have an awesome day. Take care.